Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to show you guys how to master the soft matte soft glam makeup look. A lot of your favorites have been using these beads. I'm gonna insert some pictures here. It's just a really soft look that looks good on everyone, even the oily girls like me. If you can't tell, look at how oily my face looks, super shiny. So I'm going to show you guys how to make your face look good, especially if you're an oily girl. Don't worry, this is gonna be beginner friendly as well. These are quite simple steps and you're just gonna look soft, feminine, really put together and beautiful. If you want to see how this video goes down, carry on watching and let's get right into it. Starting off, you literally want to get your face together. If you're an oily girly, this is a tip I'm going to share with you guys. You're going to start off with doing your eyebrows, because doing the eyebrows just kind of structures the face and it just makes you know where to put what, and it just makes everything so much easier. Also, if you're a beginner, starting with your eyebrows is such a good idea, so you can go in and clean up if you mess up. But if you follow this tutorial, trust you're not going to mess up. So I'm going to start off with using tissue to clean around my eyebrows. Yes, my eyebrows look good because I have microblading. I've said this so many times, so you want to get rid of any natural oils that come around the eyebrows. If you're an oily girly, you know what I'm talking about. And secondly, when you have gotten rid of the oils, you want to go ahead and fill your eyebrows in. I personally like matte eyebrow pencils. Evita Joseph is one of my favorite brands of eyebrow pencils, so I'm going to use that to fill my eyebrows in. I would link it down below and I would definitely tag a dupe for this pencil. So I'm going to go ahead and fill my eyebrows in. I like to go below the eyebrow, follow the natural shape, go above the eyebrow, follow the natural shape, and then go ahead and draw strokes in them. This just gives me a really nice structure and it just takes off soft glam look. Now that we have securely structured the eyebrows, we're going to go ahead and clean up. I go in with a lighter concealer at the bottom. I'm going to use the MAC Studio Radiance 24-Hour Luminous Lift Concealer. I'm going to just put like a dab of concealer here. This is in the shade NC45, and I'm going to use that to clean up the bottom bit of my eyebrows. I like to spread the concealer thin so that when I am cleaning up the eyebrow, it doesn't slip and slide. I want a really nice structured eyebrow. For cleaning up the top of the eyebrows, I like to use a concealer that is close to my skin tone. However, this is not a tutorial that's going to get you to buy products. Use what you have. If you have your foundation matches your skin tone, definitely stick to using your foundation. All you have to do is put a little bit of the foundation at the back of your hand and use that. In fact, let me just do that. But I was going to use my soft matte concealer from NARS. It's very close to my skin tone. So what I'm going to do is use my foundation. I'm going to show you guys how to use your foundation to clean up your eyebrows, because foundation is liquidy, it moves everywhere. You don't want to mess up the structure of the eyebrows. So what you want to do is put a little bit of foundation at the back of your hand and you're just going to spread it out like this so you have a thin consistency. It's also going to help the foundation to dry down a little bit so that you can have more control over it. I'm just going to use my flat brush to spread it out, and I'm going to use that to clean the top part of my eyebrows. Again, just following the shape. And you're gonna have your eyebrow looking so snatched. So the eyebrows are done. We're gonna move on to the next step. To get a good base, here's the trick. I know if you want to look matte, especially if you're an oily girl, there is a chance that you don't want to moisturize your skin because you feel like moisturizer is going to make your skin look a little bit more oily. That is so not true. You need to moisturize your skin so that when you're going back and forth with mattifying products on your skin doesn't overcompensate with oil because it feels dry. The thing I've noticed about my oily skin is that when my skin is parched and not moisturized well enough, it just tends to produce more oil than usual, and you don't want your skin to look oily. You want your skin to look as good for as long as possible. The reason why my skin looks this glowy is because I already have moisturizer on my skin. I would tag a good moisturizer down below for you guys that works great under makeup and it's on the affordable side. Also, it doesn't clog your pores and it's great for acne prone skin. Now that you have your moisturizer down, you want to go ahead and apply a primer. I've really been loving the Milk Pore Eclipse primer because this is a good mattifying primer that really helps to secure the base. Also, it just refines the pores on the skin. It just makes the pores a little bit more subtle. I'm gonna show you guys in a sec. So now look at what my face looks like after I apply the concealer. You guys are gonna see the difference in a sec. A little bit goes a long way. You want to focus where you get oily the most. Mine is usually the center of my face, and what's left I just go over the rest of my face. Now, comparing what my face looks like now to what it looked like before, you realize that the oil has definitely calmed down. So you're gonna get straight into the next step, which is to color correct. Now, color correction is not everybody's tea, but if you have hyperpigmentation on your face, you definitely want to color correct your skin so that your foundation doesn't end up looking gray. If you have a full coverage foundation, definitely skip color correction, but I always suggest that you color correct so that your base looks so good. I'm gonna go into the Huda Beauty Full Filter Color Corrector. This is in the shade Papaya. LA Pro has an amazing orange color corrector. There are other color correctors available on the market, but what I have tried is the Huda Beauty one and the LA Pro one, and they both work really, really nicely. I'm gonna go ahead and apply that where I have hyperpigmentation. I'm gonna blend it out. Trust the process. We're gonna move on to foundation. Before we apply foundation, if your skin is oily and you know that you moisturize your skin enough, I'm gonna suggest a step that you're going to take to get your base all the way together. Your makeup is gonna last long, it's gonna look matte for a long time, and it's gonna look soft and just like a filter, and we want that. I'm gonna go in with a light layer of translucent powder, my setting powder. I'm gonna show you guys how I like to do this. I'm just gonna dip in with a brush and just the lightest layer of powder, and I'm going over the areas that I usually get oily at. So I'm focusing on the top part of my eyebrows. I don't know if you guys noticed what just happened. My face just got like soft matte and a little bit blur. Like, it looks so good, and the shine has definitely reduced. If you have dry skin, definitely skip this step. I'm using the opportunity to also set down the color corrector just to make sure that it doesn't move around with my foundation. As you can see, my face has literally become soft matte. You don't need a lot of powder, just a little bit, and just a brush that all over the places that you would get oily at. Looks so good. We're gonna move on to foundation. I'm gonna go ahead and blend out the foundation. I like to use a brush because it just gives me the best coverage and it just puts the foundation where I want it to. Ignore the spots. I literally put foundation on my sweater and I try to get it out, but definitely you have to throw it in the washer because it's not coming out. So the next step is to go over your face with a sponge. Definitely need to pick up any excess foundation because you don't want to look cakey. You want to look as flawless as ever, and this is gonna take your makeup from 0 to 100. Next step is to apply your cream contour. I like to do bronzing because bronzing just makes my makeup look so good. I've definitely moved on from contouring. I now use bronzer. If you want to move from contouring to bronzing, you just need a product that is 2 to 3 shades lighter than your foundation shade and is warmer, because bronzer just gives soft structure and a little bit of warmth. So I'm going to use my Huda Beauty stick foundation in the shade Coffee Bean, and I'm going to apply that on the high points of my cheekbones, my forehead and temples, the sides of the bridge of my nose. I also like to put my bronzer on my eyelids just because it makes my makeup look good, and I'm gonna put a little bit of bronzer on my chin and jawline as well. This is just gonna give me the sculpt. I know this is distracting, but just focus on me. I'm gonna go ahead and blend this out. What you want to do is blend what is on your cheek upwards, so it's gonna give your face a lift rather than drag your face down. I see a lot of my girlies putting the contour in the hollows of the cheekbones, which is where it's usually supposed to go, but if you put it at the top or on top of your cheekbone and you blend it upwards, it's gonna give you a lift and make your makeup look so good. I will definitely link the brushes that I'm using because you guys ask me that a lot. I don't change out my brushes a lot. I like to go back to the same brushes because they work for me. These are amazing and affordable. Also, when it comes to the chin and jawline, you also want to blend it upwards to give you a lift. You also want to blend it into the hairline just so that you don't have any lines of demarcation on the face. Also going to blend what's on my nose and my eyelids as well. I usually just like to wing that out. Now this next step is definitely not for everybody, but if you like blush, you're a blush girly, I'm gonna suggest this is where you add your blush. This is the blush from Rare Beauty. This is in the shade Lucky. I feel like using pink blush today, so I'm gonna use my blush and I'm going to apply that on the apples of my cheeks. I literally just place it here and I'm gonna go ahead and blend that out. This is given soft pink and I'm here for it. So the next step is to apply your concealer. I'm gonna go into my MAC concealer in the shades NC37 and NC45. NC45 is closer to my skin tone, so I'm going to apply that here. Then I'm gonna go into the shade NC37, which is significantly lighter, and I'm going to put that here. You literally do not need to use 2 concealers. You can just use one, a shade you are comfortable with, but I would suggest using a concealer that is 2 or 3 shades lighter than your skin tone. I'm gonna go ahead and blend that out. You want to go in with your sponge and just go over the areas on the face where you applied the concealer, and squeeze your sponge and go over the nose. Then you want to go into the blush brush just to make sure that the blush and the concealer are looking good together, meshing well together, because you don't want any harsh lines. No extra product, just the brushes. And you want to go into the brush you use to apply the bronzer. Also go over any harsh lines between the contour and the highlight. The base should be looking like this. We're gonna move on to setting the face. Now this step is optional, especially if you're a creasy girl, you are an oily girl. You want to use a powder that is lighter than your skin tone. I love the one from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Airbrush Flawless Finish Complexion Perfecting Micro Powder. It's in the shade medium 2. A dupe for this powder is the Maybelline Fit Me Pressed Powder. These are so bomb under the eyes. So whatever your budget is, you can definitely fit one of these into your routine. You need a powder puff. You definitely want to make sure you're ironing out any creases. You want to go into your powder and your powder puff just like this. Put the excess at the back of your hand. You want to make sure you are doing this. You want to go into your sponge, iron out any creases, and you're going to set the under eye. It gives literally airbrushed look. If you have your setting powder with you, you can also use your setting powder to do this step. You don't have to go out and get a pressed powder. I'm going into my one size powder in with my powder puff. I want to make sure that I am spreading this evenly on my powder puff, and then I'm going to use that to set everywhere else on my face that I applied the lighter concealer to. You want to make sure that you are using enough powder, especially if you're oily. This is a soft matte look. You want to make sure that you are taking precautions to help your base look good and soft matte. If you are a dry girly, definitely also make sure that you're not using too much powder on your base so that you don't have your makeup feeling tight and uncomfortable. And don't worry if you're using a lot of powder, we're gonna get that together at the end of the day. I'm gonna show you guys what to do. Also, just use your powder puff to go over your eyebrows just lightly. The next step is to set your cream bronzer. Definitely take steps to setting your cream bronzer. Going into my Charlotte Tilbury bronzer in the shade Tan 3. This is the Airbrush Flawless Bronzer. And I'm going into my brush and just pushing that where I applied my cream bronzer. Do not forget to set the nose contour as well, using the same brushes, just going over where I applied it. And an extra tip for my oily girlies, if you have an oily eyelid, definitely make sure that you are ironing out any creases on your eyelid. And then you're gonna go into a little bit of your setting powder and a brush. You want to make sure you're dusting off the excess, and you want to go over your eyelids with that to make sure that you are keeping any oils at bay. If you don't have oily eyelids or oily skin, definitely you can just skip this step and just use your bronzer on your eyelids just lightly to set that cream bronzer down. Trust me, this is gonna make your makeup look so good. Now the next step is to set your foundation. Yes, you're gonna use a powder that is your skin tone or close to your skin tone, a foundation powder, whatever you have in your arsenal, and you're gonna use that to set the foundation down. So now where you didn't apply powder, you're gonna go over those places and just set the foundation down. I'm going in with my powder brush. I'm going into my pressed powder, and I'm just going to push the powder into where I applied my foundation, and I didn't go over with powder. Also, if you don't have a pressed powder that is your skin tone, just go into your setting powder and just brush over this area, especially underneath the contour and around the mouth. You're gonna set those areas down. Now to take your under eye to the next level, you want to make sure that it's looking good and flawless. You can bake at this point. If you are dry, definitely skip this step. So I'm gonna just do a little bit of baking. Now when it comes to the eyes, you want to make sure that it's soft and just really feminine looking. You don't want any harsh looking eye look. So you're going to use a dark brown pencil. I really like this one from Wet n Wild. This is the Wet n Wild Kohl liner. This is called Pretty in Mink. This is a really nice dark brown look, and you're going to put that in between your eyelids, and you're going to tight line. You want to go back and forth just to tight line both the top and the bottom eye water line. So you're gonna have your eye look looking like this. You want to go into a dark brown eyeshadow. I'm gonna use my Morphe Supernatural Glow eyeshadow palette, and I'm gonna go into this dark brown shade. It's just like really cool toned, and I'm gonna use that to line my lash line, literally just following the shape of my eyes. So if you're not like good at tight lining, you can literally just do this. And you can definitely create a wing with this. So we're gonna do eyelash applications. If you want to take this look up a notch, I suggest you use eyelashes. If you don't have eyelashes or you don't want to apply eyelashes, that is fine. This is gonna make your eyelashes look thicker. If you are a bold eyelash girly like myself, you can just apply your mascara and coat the hell out of your eyelashes and make sure they look good. But we're going to be applying false eyelashes here. So I'm gonna go into my eyelashes. These are my favorites. A lot of you ask me, I got these from Ghana. I got them from Locs Beauty. I've forgotten the name of the style, and it's literally not named on the package, but they look like this. So if you can screenshot this and check Locs Beauty on Instagram, and they would definitely hook you up. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply my false eyelashes. If you have a fresh eyelash like this, they're gonna look like this. This part does not have any hairs on it, so you definitely want to clip that off, and the end as well doesn't have any hair on it, so you want to clip that off. If your eyelashes are way too big than you, that means you put them on your lash line and they are too big and your entire eyelash has hairs attached to the band. You have to clip from the outside, which is usually the thicker part of the eyelash. You want to clip from there, not clip from the inside, because if you clip from the inside, you're going to ruin the style of the eyelash, because this is obviously a cat eye feathered eyelash style. Also, you're going to have the inside poking your inner corner, so you don't want that. So you want to clip from the end. That's it. So this usually fits my eyelash, so I'm gonna put some glue on the lash band, the inner part of the lash band like this. I'm gonna coat it with glue. I'm gonna put that down to dry down, and I'm gonna apply that. If you can put the eyelashes together like this, I just put the two together just to make sure that they are the same length. So that's what I like to do. I like to use the Super Stronghold eyelash adhesive from IMovie. So you want to apply the glue inside your lash band, and you're going to place it down for it to get tacky. At this point, you can go into your bronzer and just smoke the lower lash line out. To apply the false eyelashes, you're going to grab it with the tweezers like this. You're going to put it as close to your lash line as possible. This is going to be easy if you allow the lash glue to dry down a tad bit so it gets sticky. So as soon as you put it on your lash line, it's going to stick. When you apply, you want to give it a sec to just set down. I like to use my fingers to just kind of, you know, bring it close to my lash line. So now the lashes are on. The next step is to set the blush. Of course, you want to blend the powder into the under eye if you have oily skin. If you don't, you can just brush it off just like so. So either works fine. For blush, I'm using this one from Juvia's Place. I like the shade. I'm going to just top it off where I applied it earlier. And then this is where you want to set your face down. I'm going to use my Next to Skin setting spray from the lip bar. This is going to melt all the powders into the skin. If you have dry skin, obviously stop here. Do not apply anything more to your face. However, if you have oily skin, you need a mattifying setting spray. This is from One Size. This is the Until Dawn mattifying waterproof setting spray. I believe L'Oreal Infallible has a dupe for this spray, so whichever one you can get your hands on. This is going to secure your base and have your skin looking matte but set and skin-like. Now for the lips, I'm going to line my lips with a brown lip liner. I'm gonna go into the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in the shade Foxy Brown. I'm going to use that to blend this dark brown into a softer brown so you can have the ombre effect. For the center, I'm gonna use the Anastasia Beverly Hills matte lipstick in the shade Hush Pink. So guys, this is the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I definitely did enjoy creating this video. I hope it was helpful. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Take care guys. Bye.